Welcome to Gaming Plant. It's me, Joey, and today we're digging into one of the greatest franchises that will likely never come back. Red Faction. It was originally released 24 years ago back in 2001. This video will focus on the first of 4 entries in this beloved series. Red Faction is a first-person shooter set on the harsh landscape of Mars in the year 2075. Released back in 2001 by Volition and published by THQ, Red Faction introduced us to a gritty sci-fi world set on Mars. You play as Parker, a miner seeking a fresh start. His journey begins when he witnesses a brutal act of violence against a fellow miner, sparking a rebellion that changes everything. The story is straightforward. Break free, join the rebellion, and take down the corporation that enslaved you. It's not the most original story, but that's not what you come to this game for. The moment-to-moment gameplay is what will hook you. And the real star of the game is the geomod technology. The geomod tech allows the player to freely alter the environment in the game world, letting you see the impacts of your actions. This game revolutionized how we think about destruction in video games. Even by today's standards, it's impressive and pretty dang fun, as most games don't allow the player to interact with the environment in this way. At best, you'll be able to break a chair or a table, maybe see some bullet holes in a wall. The 2 games that come to mind that show destruction in a more impressive way are Teardown, a voxel-based game released back in 2020, and The Finals, a multiplayer shooter released at the end of 2023. These 2 games, to be clear, are outstanding. I personally would love to see more of this type of creativity and freedom in games. It feels like often your player character and the game environment are 2 separate things, and you're not encouraged to do more than walk through the environments. The geomod tech allows for an impressive level of creativity and gameplay and strategy that set Red Faction apart from its contemporaries. In the video that I'm showing on screen, you can see the player character in a free play space called the Glass House. You can access this through the main menu, where you're given unlimited rockets, mines, and pistol ammo. To demonstrate how impressive the geomod tech is, I'm going to create a U-shaped tunnel through the wall. I remember as a kid, I spent hours in this free play room. It never gets old, blowing holes through walls. Red Faction combines first-person shooting with elements of exploration and light vehicle combat. You've got a mix of weapons, everything from conventional firearms to explosives. One of the best weapons that Red Faction showcases is the Rail Driver. This is a single-shot weapon with a thermal scope. This weapon allows you to shoot through walls. This is incredibly handy if you're trying to breach a room and there's an overpowered soldier inside. Why even let him know that you're there to begin with? Just aim and fire. Best part, 1 round will kill any enemy in a single shot, with the exception to bosses and some vehicle-based foes, but it does do a ton of damage to them. All right, let's address the visuals. Sure, it's showing its age. Those textures and character models aren't exactly state-of-the-art anymore, but for its time, Red Faction was impressive, more in gameplay than in visuals.
It stopped counting down. Did I disarm it?
Yeah, let's go with that assumption.
The cutscenes are still a little stiff, and it's hilarious to me that every single NPC that you meet has the exact same face, with a couple exceptions of like key characters. But that was a pretty common problem back then. As for the sound design, the ambient effects create an immersive atmosphere. The music is entertaining and does a good job to set the tone. The weapons have this nostalgic sound for me that I absolutely love. Like the sound of that silenced pistol. I don't know what it is. Like that is when I fell in love with that. Like in every game that I have the option to have a silenced pistol, that's kind of my go-to.
Where's my backup?
As for the story, the narrative might not be groundbreaking, but it's engaging enough to keep you invested. In Red Faction, Earth's minerals are all but depleted, leading to a grim future where the Ultor Corporation exploits miners for profit and forces them to live in deplorable conditions. They have minimal human rights and are expected to live their lives in a clockwork fashion. The backdrop is dark, with rampant disease known as the Plague. You'll travel the Ultor complex, battling security forces and uncovering dark secrets about the corporation and the Plague. Parker's journey is not the most relatable, but it's interesting nonetheless. And the supporting characters like Hendrix, who is an Altor security tech turned rebel working undercover, they add charm and give you someone to invest in aside from the main character. The voice acting does a decent job making you care about the rebellion and its stakes. There's plenty more going on in the game that I don't want to spoil in case you do jump into a 24-year-old game, which I highly recommend doing because this is one of my favorite childhood games. Um, but again, that's not why you're there. You're there because the first person shooting is fun. Like the characters are bombastic in the best way. And I personally, like, I think the suits that they wear, those red suits, are sick. Red Faction spawned several sequels, each building on the game's original formula. While some later entries focused more on the story or a different gameplay mechanic, they all owe a debt to the first game's innovative destruction system. It's a perfect example of how one game can shape an entire franchise. Unfortunately, on August 31st, 2023, Volition announced that they would be shutting down. They had previously been acquired by the Embracer Group, who is trying to bolster their portfolio in hopes to sell to the Savvy Game Group, the gaming division of Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. After the $2 billion deal fell through, Embracer Group announced a restructuring program just a couple of months before Volition was shut down. I had always hoped that the franchise would come back, and I know that I'm not the only one. It's a beloved franchise that was so unique in gameplay with a lot of sandbox elements. The newest entry in the Red Faction universe was Red Faction Armageddon, released back in June of 2011. It was a pretty good game, and since then we've got a remastered version of the series favorite Red Faction Guerrilla back in July of 2018, and I highly recommend you check that game out. It's fantastic. It's not first person like the original game, but it's third person, and it's kind of open world, tons of destruction elements. Check it out if you get a chance. So, is Red Faction worth revisiting in 2025? Absolutely. Whether you're a nostalgic gamer or a newcomer curious about gaming history, it's worth your time for its innovating mechanics and engaging gameplay. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. And tell me down in the comments, what are your favorite moments from Red Faction? Is there a game like this that shaped your childhood like Red Faction did mine? Is there a franchise that you wish would return? Let's chat. I want to hear from you. Until next time, thank you for watching.